Welcome to the Lost World Podcast. I'm your host, Jase O'Brien, joined by my co-host,
Toby Odom.
And we're back.
We're back.
Part 3, Return of the Kings.
Oh yeah, baby.
Yes, it's finally time to do this podcast routinely. I know we've said that before, but third time's the charm. Toy Story 3, baby.
A couple broken promises for sure.
But this time, Toby and I aren't on Discord. We're in the same room because we now live in the same area again. Mm-hmm. It's been fun.
It's been great.
And I'm so excited to have a new episode of the podcast.
Oh yeah, and now it's time for this thing to really start rolling. What are we doing on this episode?
So today we are presenting the ultimate Sam Jackson tournament. Yeah, now what is that? I bet you're wondering. Right, Toby?
I have no idea. I am coming in so blind right now, and I'm nervous. I'm excited. I'm feeling pretty good.
What we're doing today is we have 16 different Samuel L. Jackson characters ranked from 1 to 16 by how capable I think they are at fighting. You know, you could maybe flip a few of these.
16.
16.
That's so many. Let's talk about that for a minute.
Yeah, I've always said that Sam Jackson is like bacon. You can put him on anything.
That's excellent. I've never heard that. That's wonderful.
Or should I put him in anything? I don't know if you should put him on anything.
There you go. I can't say there's been a role that he's had that I didn't like. Even in the movies that aren't great, it's like he's in it, he's the best part. You know what I'm saying?
Consistent. And always puts on a good performance.
Yeah, and again, I don't think I know a single person who doesn't love him. And we share a birthday, so
wow, I'm
biased. All right, so we have these 16 characters. What are we doing with these characters?
So here's how this works. These every individual match is a fight to the death per se. However, this is going to be a little more fun than that because, you know, if you have to pick one, you're going to pick, what, Mace Windu, the Jedi?
Exactly.
However, when we do eventually get to Mace Windu, we'll talk about that because we had to restrict him just a little bit so he wasn't going to win
Seems
every
a bit
match.
overpowered.
Exactly. So every match not only has a location that'll change, it has a different stipulation. So
okay,
we'll cover that when we get to them. It'll be random every time. I have all these locations and stipulations picked out, but I don't know where it's going to fall because every single time it'll be different.
And I know absolutely nothing. So
yes, hopefully you know all the characters.
I feel like I've probably seen every single Sam Jack movie.
I think combined, you and I have seen every movie.
No, honestly, I wouldn't be shocked.
All right, well, let's get into it. The Sam Jackson tournament. Okay, so round 1, we're going to start off with our number 1 seed, Mace Windu.
Oh.
And Mace Windu, I have everyone's weapons equipped with him as well. So we decided not to give Mace Windu the Force. No Force for Mace Windu because that's too overpowered. However, he is equipped with his, Jedi training skills, his lightsaber, and his blaster.
Dang. So he's still kitted out.
Yes.
Who is he going against?
And he is taking on the number 16 seed, Steven from Django Unchained. Steven has a cane as his melee weapon and a revolver.
Oh goodness.
And so let's figure out where these two are fighting. I have a random wheel here.
Does it even matter?
These two will be fighting in an underwater research facility.
Oh no.
Just going on.
Very, very topical right now.
Why is that?
If you're not living under a rock, being underwater in a small confined space right now is not a really cool thing to be doing.
And this underwater research facility that we're speaking about for the tournament is the one from Deep Blue Sea. And the stipulation is... Okay, things just got interesting. The stipulation is main weapons swapped. So Mace Windu
has a revolver and a cane. And Steven has a lightsaber.
And a blaster.
Oh my goodness.
In an underwater research facility.
Holy moly.
Okay, so going off this information, now, look, that's the thing. Anyone can win this tournament with these stipulations involved.
Okay, I understand that Mace Windu is a strong, grown man who is very smart and a capable fighter. And he's got a gun. But he's got a lightsaber. He has a lightsaber.
But let's be honest. How physical is Steven where he's going to be able to properly use this weapon?
It don't matter. A child can use this weapon. We've seen it in the movies.
I will say though, I think if he holds out the lightsaber, he's going to not be ready for the power of the weapon. I mean, if he could drop it and accidentally cut something off, possibly.
He has a blaster too, though.
He does have a blaster,
and he knows how to use a gun.
And Mace Windu has never used a gun.
He's never used a gun.
But what's like? I assume they're on the opposite ends of the underwater research facility, and they have beef. Mace Windu is going to come in for the attack.
For sure. But he's got a cane. That's all he's got.
Well, and a revolver.
He's got 6 shots. That's it. Better hit.
And no force, but I think he could. I still think Mace Windu would have an edge in a fight, even with Steven.
I just really feel like Steven's going to get that blaster out. And that's it, dude.
I just still have trouble giving Steven the win in this battle, though I think it's fun. We're split here, right?
We're split.
Okay, so you have Steven winning.
I'm in for Steven.
That's your goat.
That's my guy.
And I have Mace Windu winning. So what we're going to do is I was going to wait for the tiebreaker to explain this. We already had a tiebreaker because we both didn't agree. I have a coin here. And so, Toby, I'll let you call it. Mm-hmm. You can either call Jango Fett head or snake tail.
Weird. You get the two.
For Sam Jackson movies.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, there you go.
So whoever this lands on will win the round. So speaking Jango Fett's topical. So what do you call it? Jango Fett head or snake tail?
Jango Fett head.
Jango Fett head it is.
Steven.
The number 1 seed Mace Windu is knocked out. Steven, the number 16 with the biggest upset of the tournament, probably this entire time, is moving on.
Yes, he is. Now, here's a question. Does he keep his lightsaber?
No. Okay. He'll be reset.
Well, he's not making it much further. Unless you give him the Force again or something, dude.
Okay, that was our first match. A very unpredictable, fun first match. Up next, we have a very, very even match here.
Okay.
We have the number 9 seed, Preston Packard from Kong Skull Island.
Ooh.
He has a hunting knife and a hunting rifle, taking on the number 8 seed, Neville Flynn from Snakes on a Plane. He has a knife and a pistol. 2 more so similar characters in the situation. Helicopter versus plane, I guess.
There you go.
But let's see where the location is, because this could change a lot. These 2 will be fighting on a plane filled with snakes.
Neville's been, dude. He's been here before.
This was the fight he was counting on.
This is on his terms, bro. He's about to get these snakes off this plane and this other guy.
Let's see the stipulation before we make our decision too early. Okay, so let's figure out how this works. So no technology or electronic weapons for either of them. This counts for the environment too. So does that mean the
plane's falling?
It's going down.
It's going down. It's yelling timber, and there are snakes inside. Okay, now here's my thing. Is that Kong man? What's his name?
Preston Packard. You didn't remember?
Preston Packard. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, I don't remember the guy's name in the movie about King Kong. Anyways, he's been in a helicopter crash, so he knows what it's like. Neville has never been. He's been in a snake with planes. I mean, with a in a plane with snakes, but he's never been going down like this. So that's my only thing. And here's my other question: are there other people on the plane?
Yes. There's passengers as well. Like a full plane.
So this plane is full of terrified people running from these killer snakes, and these 2 people are fighting with guns while it's crashing.
And no electronics, so no phones or
just screaming.
No lights. No lights on the plane. So who has the advantage when there's no lights? Probably Preston in that situation.
Can we say this? Neville is a trained police officer,
and snake wrangler.
He doesn't play around. And it seems that, I'm not sure if I remember the reason he's on the plane, but I feel like it's because he's probably like an air marshal, no?
I'll say both of these characters probably regret getting on planes at the beginning of their movies.
But I feel like he's air marshal, and that's why he's on the plane.
Yeah.
I can't be 100% accurate on that.
Sure.
But
I don't remember.
Right? Why is he on the plane?
So here's something else to consider. Neville Flynn survives his movie. Preston Packard does not.
doesn't. Granted, one guy's facing a couple snakes, one guy's facing King Kong and giant killer lizards.
That he had no problem like going against. He wasn't even scared of King Kong. That's why he died.
Why is he afraid of Neville? Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So he's not backing down.
I feel like I might have to give it to Packard.
It's hard not to give it to Neville in his own train because I imagine he knows the plane, right?
I would. I mean,
here's a question. This is like a 2003 plane. Preston Packard's from the 70s.
maybe freaking out.
No electronics also. So he's like, it's the same. It's the same plane, kind of.
I feel like in this high tense scenario, they're going down, crashing. I feel like that makes it. Preston's gonna be ready for that. He's jumped out of planes. He's been a helicopter crash. He faced King Kong.
I think not only maybe
He's gonna keep his cool.
I think the snakes don't concern him, as in Preston.
He faced giant murderous lizards.
I do think that Preston's going to be able to get in a parachute and get out of there. Mm-hmm. I think I have to side with you on this one.
Oh, yeah.
Even though Neville Flynn,
Hard loss for sure, but
I can't. Two favorites have sat in that
Yeah,
one. At the
there
lower
we go.
seed. Round 2, the win goes to Preston Packard. Okay, round 3, the 5th seed, Darius Kincaid from the Hitman's Bodyguard.
Ooh.
And he is equipped with a tactical knife and a sniper rifle.
Okay.
And he is taking on the 12th seed, Valentine from Kingsman, with
All
a
right.
tactical knife and a pistol.
Okay. So automatic, but before I know the place or the stipulation, not a very fair fight. So I hope for Valentine's sake, there's something good coming up.
Let's see. So these two gentlemen will be fighting in a nursing home. Don't really know how that affects us too much. And the stipulation specifically for this match is things just got interesting.
What?
It's capture the flag,
Oh.
and the loser explodes.
Oh.
So this isn't about killing each other. The only way to win this match is to capture the flag.
Okay, but now here's my thing, and here's my 2 reasons why Valentine loses this. Is because they're in a nursing home. It's gross. Ew. Old people smell bad. They look bad.
All of them?
Nursing homes are gross. He's gonna be throwing up. 2, one of the guys is a bodyguard. You know, he's a hitman and a bodyguard.
Wait, is he the hitman or the bodyguard? I don't
He's the
really
hitman.
remember.
He's the hitman's bodyguard.
So, okay, so Ryan Reynolds is the hitman. I
No,
don't remember.
I think it's
Swap?
reversed. Yeah. Either way, he's trained. Valentine has everyone else do his work for him.
So is there no way that he controls
There's
the
no
old
way.
people in there? Because he's such
No.
a master manipulator?
No, because it's not like they've been there for a minute. They just get there.
He's like, let me get situated.
Yeah, like a couple weeks. He builds an army full of old people.
With the bomb on him.
Seriously, guys, you guys need to work with me, okay?
Well, okay, what if he offers old people money? Because he has all that money.
He doesn't have time. He can't run around. There's a hitman's bodyguard running to the flag.
Wait, is it the hitman's bodyguard or the hitman?
It's the bodyguard's hitman, dude.
I thought he was the hitman.
Either way, he wins this.
Yeah, and
I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about this. Valentine is gone.
yeah, I have to agree though.
I mean, he is just not. He's not doing nothing. He's puking. That's what he does. That's his superpower.
Okay, so we're gonna give the victory. I agree to Darius Kincaid, the 5th seed, beating the 12th seed Valentine. Okay, we have probably my favorite matchup out of all the entire first round matchups. We have Whitney Whiplash Chubbington from Turbo, our 13th seed,
Oh,
taking on our 4th seed, Shaft. So, Whitney doesn't have any weapons because he's a snail, though he does have a motor on him.
does he go super fast?
He goes fast.
Okay.
And
does he go turbo fast?
yeah, turbo
Okay,
fast.
okay.
And Shaft is equipped with a baseball bat and a shotgun.
Oh my god.
Let's see where these two are fighting.
I'm nervous, dude.
And do you know what Chubbington looks like?
I do know. I know exactly what Shovington looks like.
These two are fighting on the planet Coruscant. Okay. Hey, it's getting a little more even at this point.
Okay.
And let's see the stipulation. This is everything here. Okay. This is a tag team match.
Oh.
So each character gets a movie character friend to fight with them.
From their movie?
Yes.
Okay. Unfortunately, I don't know any more characters from Shaft.
I feel bad, but I don't either.
Except for the titular character, Shaft.
We're going to have to Google and figure out Shaft's best friend.
But the Turbo sidekick.
Turbo gets Turbo, right?
Right. I feel like that's, that is the, so it looks like we're gonna go.
Two snails.
We're gonna go.
Two snails.
All right, so we're gonna do the villain from Shaft. Christian Bale plays Walter Wade Jr.
This sounds scary for the snails.
Oh yeah, and this is the year 2000. So this is American Psycho Bale. He's ripped, he's ready, and he's fighting Shaft. So,
but let's talk about the obvious here. They're on an alien planet.
For sure, but even besides that point, if we've seen Turbo, which I know that we both have, we know that that these snails have a capability of knocking over people with how fast they go. Let's not undermine the power.
Let's talk about this too. Yeah, the snails are gonna be able to get in places that Shaft and Walter
Wade Jr.
Walter Wade junior are unable to get in. They're also more alien than the humans are, though there's also humans in Star Wars.
So what planet are they on?
Coruscant. This is like the most popular planet. It's like kind of like in New York. So I think
Shaft. People are gonna be like, what is Shaft doing here?
Maybe
this is not where Shaft should be.
Though there's still human characters on Coruscant.
For sure. I don't think there's any snails on Coruscant, especially the ones that go this fast.
Will anyone even see them if they're so small and fast?
I don't know, but I don't know. I just think that they're. What's a shotgun going to do to a snail?
I can tell you what a baseball bat can do.
If you can hit him, he's going so fast.
But let's talk about this.
Shaft does not have any superpowers.
I hear you, but it's not a race. How are the snails?
They go real fast.
So there's a specific area where there's a mountain peak. The way that Turbo and Whitney Whiplash Chubbington could win this match against Shaft and Wade is if they get them by that mountain hole and trip them in,
which they can knock over people. Like when they have the first race in Turbo, they race past people and their cups go flying and they knock over and their clothes get all messed up. It's like a plane, it's got that kind of power. And Shaft is just a guy. Christian Bale is just a guy.
Well, these are just snails
with turbo power. My thing is that these snails have superpowers. These people do not.
Okay, I need a fact check. How fast
is Turbo?
How fast is Turbo?
According to Google, he has achieved speeds of 226 miles per hour.
What?
Yes, dude. I told you. He is Turbo, the snail.
Well, we're talking about Whitney Whiplash Chubbington.
But he's got Turbo with him. It doesn't matter. This is the stipulation. He's got Turbo with him. 226 miles per hour. That's like a plane. Okay, that's two cars put into one going the same speed. You know what I'm saying?
Kind of. I still have trouble giving it to snails.
Those coin toss then. I got the snails.
All right.
Boba Fett head.
Jango Fett head.
Jango Fett head.
And it is the snake.
Oh.
So, as much as I love Whitney Whiplash Chubbington and Turbo, unfortunately they get smashed to the baseball bat coming at like a fastball. Bang! Shaft and Wade, the tag team of the century, get the victory.
Shell pieces go everywhere. Turbo.
Our next matchup of round one. We have our number 3 seed, Nick Fury.
Oh.
With a tactical knife and a pistol.
Okay.
Taking on Russell Franklin from Deep Blue Sea, who is equipped with a tactical knife as well and a harpoon.
Again, for his sake? I hope something good comes up in these spins, man.
Unfortunately, he will not have the underwater research facility.
Which is good because he dies there. So, I'm glad he's not there. He literally gets ate by a shark.
These two are fighting on none other than Skull Island,
Oh, so
So-
all the animals there.
and he's trained with animals.
Okay, but Nick Fury has also like taken on aliens and superheroes and
Let's see the stipulation. There's a giant grizzly bear there trying to eat both of them.
just normal
Skull
Skull Island
Island.
stuff. You know,
It's like the worst animal, like the weakest animal.
yeah, it's like there's King Kong. There's this little grizzly bear trying to get us. The problem is that he has a harpoon
He can go fishing on Skull Island.
and then gets shot by Nick Fury. Some mice of men scene.
So I
Look
think
at the water.
let's say these two ended up getting stranded out there. Like the fight, for whatever reason, breaks up. I think Russell Franklin has the advantage when it comes to resources on the
I
island.
disagree, because Nick Fury is like a trained military mastermind who formed the best superhero team known in the universe. He's the puppet master that saves the world multiple times.
Well, Russell Franklin led a group with LL Cool J.
That's true. You got me there. He wins. No, he doesn't. No. No, Nick Fury. I mean, he is a superhero in this sense. This guy he fishes. Okay, so is my uncle. You know, he's not going to win against Nick Fury either. You know,
And ultimately, Russell Franklin,
gets ate by a shark. Nick Fury,
as a shark expert,
the only way that Nick Fury dies is Thanos snaps him with half of the universe. You know,
like Russell Franklin got snapped by a shark.
exactly.
His jaw.
Like the ER ads, the heart attack or shark attack. You know.
I bit off more than I can chew.
All right, Nick Fury gets the win.
Oh yeah, easy man, easy.
Okay, up next, this is the most Toby battle.
Oh gosh.
We have the 11th seed, Ray Arnold from Jurassic Park,
It's my man.
who is equipped with a pocket knife and Muldoon's shotgun,
Ooh.
taking on the 6th seed, Major Warren from the Hateful Eight,
No.
who has a hunting knife and his 2 revolvers.
Oh no, Arnold.
So let's see where these two
Major
are
Warren's
fighting.
a bad mamma jamma. You know that? You seen that movie.
And I love how perfectly this can work out because these two are fighting in Jurassic Park.
Oh.
Mid chaos. We give the home field advantage again.
No.
So Ray Arnold has advantage here, though he dies in Jurassic Park. He has advantage here. But let's see what the stipulation is before we get too excited for Ray Arnold. Each man has an army of 10 stormtroopers.
Oh wow.
Major Warren has an
Major-
army.
Yeah, he is. He leads people. That's what he does. And stormtroopers are trained soldiers, so they're gonna listen. And he knows what to do with them. Here's my only thing. Here's the only thing that still might give Arnold the advantage. I mean, well, I guess they don't really count, but Warren's never seen dinosaurs. He might not in like cowboy times. They didn't even know what dinosaurs were.
Dragons.
Yeah, like that wasn't a thing. So that's gonna be a real shocker.
It's crazy because at first glance, it's Major Warren's going to win, obviously. Then you put them in Jurassic Park.
And then it's Arnold. But now, with the army, I mean, Major Warren, I feel like has the advantage being able to.
And though Major Warren has the advantage, this is Jurassic Park mid-chaos, so dinosaurs are everywhere. I do say that Ray Arnold knows this location very well. And it's not like the plane. This is a giant park with
Right.
the power, where he knows where the power facility is. He knows where all the weapons are stored. Though they have at least 10 E11 blasters. They could get the rest
Why
of
would
the
you
weapons.
want something else, you know?
Yeah.
But here's my thing: is that Major Warren, being a military man, he would know he doesn't know where he's at, and he would know what to do in that scenario. You know, I'm in uncommon ground. Hold out, hide, something.
Another thing is we've seen even in Jurassic World when you give characters weapons, the Lost World where they have machine guns and everything, that these dinosaurs are wild animals. And though they have stormtroopers, they're not accurate. I mean,
That's true.
they don't hit.
Some raptors.
That's what I'm saying. If they go into the long grass, which Ray Arnold would know not to do, but Major Warren may go through because he thinks it's tactical, hiding in the grass, the raptors could get him. I think the dinosaurs play more of an impact than the stormtroopers do, and that's an awesome sentence I just got to say.
Pterodactyls.
Yep.
Rexy.
Yep.
Dang.
This is the toughest.
This is a tough one. I don't know.
I love both these characters dearly.
I think I'm leaning more towards Arnold.
I think I am too, because it's
Just because of the dinosaurs.
because of the dinosaurs and because he knows this terrain. Unlike where everyone's been on a plane. Well, I know Preston Packard had been on a 70s plane, but the no power kind of made it. So I think even though they have their own army of 10 stormtroopers, I think Ray Arnold is going to get the win.
I think I agree with that.
Wow.
Arnold going on. That's my boy. I'm proud of him.
Yes, Toby loves Ray Arnold.
And it's canon that he lost his arm and lived, by the way.
They need to make that official. They really do. Okay, our next matchup. We have our 7th seed, Jules Winfield from Pulp Fiction, who is equipped with a pocket knife and a pistol, taking on Ordell Roby from Jackie Brown, who has a pocket knife and a pistol. Okay, 2 fairly similar Tarantino characters here. We have a protagonist and an antagonist. Let's see where they're fighting. These 2 men will be fighting on a sinking cruise ship.
Okay.
Interesting.
Like that is disadvantage to both of them.
Definitely. Let's see what the stipulation is, because we got some wild ones left in here. This is interesting. These 2 men are fighting on a sinking cruise ship, and they're handcuffed to each other.
Oh.
And there's no breaking the handcuffs in the sense of getting a key.
So who's stronger? Jules.
I think, yes. So
I think Jules, because based on the fact that he is muscle in the movie, like that's his job.
Correct.
Is that he messes people up. He kills people and he gets money.
And Ordell Roby would hire Jules to do that.
Exactly. He's the guy that hires Jules.
Now,
I think that's just automatic.
But I think before we make it automatic, we need to consider all the options. Would Ordell Roby somehow use his power or influence on this cruise ship? Maybe
It's sinking. No one cares. No one cares because the ship's sinking in the middle of the ocean.
Here's what I think. Hear me out here. Ordell Roby manages to get him and Jules on a boat. Like on a lifeboat. And they fight on a lifeboat.
No, if Jules is there and he knows it's life or death, he's going to get him. And I'm saying this is start of Pulp Fiction Jules, not into Pulp Fiction Jules.
I think I have to agree with you. I'm trying to see it every
it's
way.
It's just not going to work for him. So Jules wins here for sure.
Okay. So Jules is going to move on to our next round. And coming up, we have our final match of round 1. Our 15th seed, Elijah Price, a.k.a. Glass from Unbreakable.
Wow.
Equipped with a cane sword and a pistol.
Ooh, the cane sword.
Taking on our number 2 ranked fighter, Frozone from The Incredibles.
Ooh.
Who's equipped with ice
and zones.
And snow. Ice and snow. Okay, so we have super hero versus super villain, and that wasn't planned. That's just how I ranked them. Let's look at where they're fighting.
This one's interesting.
Okay, these 2 are fighting inside a McDonald's.
Ooh.
Small.
Okay. Yeah, small.
Like
you can freeze that up pretty quick. Get real cold in there real fast.
Ice cream machine better not be broke. Better not hear that excuse.
It'll make it work.
Here's where this gets interesting. These 2 are fighting inside a McDonald's with melee weapons only.
Oh. Okay.
So what classifies as a melee weapon for Frozone? Does he have like an ice fist?
He probably make an icicle. Frozone fights crime for a living. He takes on supervillains. Glass. Now here's the only way that I think he wins. I mean, what's his superpower? Like he doesn't have. He like influences you.
Yeah, remember you thought he had the Force a few weeks ago.
It's like Jedi mind trick. So I think Frozone takes it, man.
Ice cream machine
works. Yeah,
it does works.
It does works, bro.
Round 2. Fight.
All right, moving on to our first matchup of round 2.
Ooh.
This is an interesting one. One could say an old-timey matchup here. We have our 16th seed, Steven from Django Unchained, with his cane and revolver.
Okay, goated combo.
Taking on our number 9 seed, Preston Packard.
Ooh.
With his hunting knife and hunting rifle.
We got to see where they're at and what's happening.
If it's in the future,
Because if it doesn't matter, Steven, I'm sorry. I love you to death. But
Well, hold on. You speak early a lot. Let's see where they're fighting. These two will be fighting in a cabin in the woods.
okay,
All right. Well, I guess
small,
fits the time period.
old timey.
Yep. Once again, old timey. And the stipulation. Oh man, how does this work?
Okay,
These two are fighting in a cabin in the woods, but it's a race, and the loser explodes.
okay. Steven, poor Steven.
No, I hear you, but what is the race? We need to determine. They're in a cabin.
That's what you wanted for Turbo, huh?
Well, yes.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
I wish Turbo got the race.
Shaft.
Not Turbo, but Chubbington. Whitney Whiplash Chubbington. His full name. Address Mr. Chubbington by his full name.
WWC.
Okay, so these two. Okay, what is the race? How big is this cabin?
I would say it's like three laps around the inside of the cabin.
Inside. So but like cabins only have like living room, bedroom.
Exactly. Quick. That's it. And Steven's got a cane. Preston trips him once. That's it.
Well,
Broken
no,
hip. He's crawling.
But it's a race. It's not like we're gonna fight.
Maybe they race dirty. All I'm saying, Preston wins.
Preston has the I don't know what I've been told running, from Nam. Yeah, as much as
The Full Metal Jacket chant.
I've been wanting to see this out, I do think Preston wins a race.
Yeah, I think so too.
But here's the thing, the loser explodes specifically. So the cabin gets blown up, I guess. So hopefully he laughs.
I imagine it's just like you seen Ready or Not?
Yeah, like that.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so Preston Packard moves on. Okay, our next round. I could put two pictures of these guys next to each other and you wouldn't tell who's who. You'd be like, wait, is that from that movie or that movie? So we have Darius Kincaid from The Hitman's Bodyguard, equipped with a tactical knife and sniper rifle,
Okay.
taking on Shaft with a baseball bat and shotgun. So this fight needs to be close or far.
Yeah. You throw the baseball bat.
Let's see where this fight takes place.
Okay.
This fight takes place in a treehouse.
Well,
But let's see the stipulation. Mm-hmm. Okay, this makes no sense.
what?
This has to be a big treehouse. It's a monster truck demolition derby. Vehicles only.
That don't work.
Well, that's what it is.
Okay, then I feel like Shaft still wins. He's still got a shotgun.
But no, vehicles only. Weapons don't matter now.
Oh, well.
You have to, but it's in a treehouse. Should we make it that, okay, maybe they have RC cars?
That's so lame.
Okay, it's a big treehouse.
Okay, it's a big tree
Like
house.
the biggest treehouse ever because it has to support the monster trucks.
So what if it was like a tree house on a forest?
Yeah.
Tree mansion.
Forest house.
Forest house. Forest arena.
Big tree.
Big tree house. I still think Shaft wins just based off the fact that I feel like these two are pretty comparable, and in a race of wits and strength or anything, Shaft just tips it over just a little bit.
Okay.
Because he, at the end of the day, he's like a not like a daredevil, but like a Batman, but he's like a hero without powers,
Though
at the end of the day.
I think that there are more car sequences in the Hitman's Bodyguard than there is in Shaft.
Yeah, but it's a monster truck. If anyone's got experience in a monster truck out of these two, it's Shaft.
Why?
Because he is Shaft. What do you mean? Come on, baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, he got in a monster truck before.
Like he went to the show and they let him take a picture in one?
Nah, like, he took it and he said, "This is mine now." He thinks it's cool.
This one, it's such an even matchup.
It's so just, yeah, it does. Like, I mean, like I said, it's so even that I feel like at the end of the day, Shaft edges it out just because he's Shaft.
See, I want to make it interesting and let the coin decide because that's how
Okay.
much I don't know.
Okay.
So I'm going to say Darius Kincaid.
All right, I say Shaft.
And what do you got, Django Fathead or Snaketail?
Snaketail.
Django Fathead.
Oh.
Darius Kincaid of the Hitman's Bodyguard moves on.
Right. See how far he makes it.
He's made it pretty far. He's got a sequel. Well, Shaft got a sequel recently.
The Squeakquel, yeah.
And Shaft the Squeakquel.
The door.
We have our third seed, Nick Fury, with his tactical knife and pistol, taking on our 11th seed, Ray Arnold, with his pocket knife and Muldoon's shotgun.
Okay.
All right.
There we go.
Well, he already used his Jurassic Park card, so let's see where these two
Let's
are fighting.
hope they're not in the Avengers Tower.
These two are fighting in a wrestling ring.
Okay.
All right.
Bad start for Arnold.
And the stipulation is a bare knuckle brawl.
Yeah, I'm sorry,
This
Arnold.
is a wrestling match.
Arnold, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Nick Fury whoops some butt.
Yeah.
And that's just what it is.
And if we want to talk about the most current versions of the characters, Ray's missing an arm.
Nick Fury is an alien, so he's probably pretty strong.
Kind of.
Sorta. I don't know how it works nowadays.
One of the versions of
You
him
dang
is
kids in your Marvel. Back in my day, it was Iron Man and the Hulk.
Ed Norton, too.
Ed Norton.
They didn't have that guy from 13 going on 30.
And the guy who played Chaplin. I ain't seen him in too much recently.
And-
It's 2008.
And War Machine was proper Terrence Howard.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was pure back in my day before it was ruined by Mickey the Mouse. Either way, though, Nick Fury wins.
This is a 15-second knockout Nick Fury
That is
victory.
7 second, dude.
Okay, our next matchup, our final matchup of this round. We have our 7th seed, Jules Winfield from Pulp Fiction.
Wow.
With a pocket knife and a pistol, taking on our 2nd seed, Frozone, with ice and ice.
Oh, okay.
This fight takes place in Minnie's haberdashery,
Oh.
surrounded by snow.
Wow. That is unfortunate for Jules,
And
who is from California, where there is no snow.
let's look at the stipulation. Okay, Jules has a chance because both of them are in robo suits like Lex Luthor.
Oh, wow. But Frozone still has his ice powers.
But how would they work through the suit inside a haberdashery?
I feel like he has magical superpowers and they just work.
So it would just like the suit's programmed for it to go through the suit.
I would imagine.
I think if he tries to use the ice in the suit, he'd freeze himself in there because it's a metal
But
suit.
he's Frozone, he can't freeze himself.
But you know what I'm saying? Like it would freeze up, like it'd like clog, and you have to get out of it. But you can't get out of it because that's the stipulation. I think the ice renders useless. So I think it comes down to combat. Who uses
Then
the suit.
Frozone still wins because he is a superhero who fights supervillains.
Does Frozone use tech in The Incredibles? He mostly uses just his powers.
He uses his powers, and he is like he's flexible. He slides on his ice that he makes. You know, he's jumping around, and now he's just in a super mech suit. So now he's doing all that same stuff, just bigger, stronger, better.
He is a superhero,
Yeah,
so
that's the thing, man.
I think he's gonna have the advantage when it comes to combat, though. In the fact that there is snow, and we got to bring this back up. There's snow,
And if they're in big mech suits, it's gonna go outside.
the haberdashery will break.
Yeah, Jules is not ready for that freezing cold.
Yeah, it's not in California, like you said. Okay, we're gonna give the victory
To Frozone.
to Frozone.
Round 3.
Up next, we have our semi-final round. We're down to our final 4 here.
Wow.
Shout out Fox. We have our number 9 seed, Preston Packard,
Okay.
with his hunting knife and his hunting rifle, taking on our number 5 seed, Darius Kincaid, with his tactical knife and sniper rifle. So
All
2
right.
rifles.
Okay.
Okay, these
Where are they
two
at?
are fighting on a NASCAR track.
During a race?
We can decide that. I didn't specify, so not sure. Let's see
Kinda
what
cool.
stipulation is, and we'll see if it works.
Okay.
Okay, these two are fighting on a NASCAR track on horseback.
Okay. So automatically, Preston being from the 60s and being a southern boy, as you can hear from his voice, you know that he knows how to ride a horse.
Where I don't think Darius Kincaid would know how to ride a horse.
No, he would not. No way he knows how to ride a horse. I'm sure he knows how to drive a car pretty good.
Do we want cars on the track?
I think so.
I think it makes it more fun.
That makes it way more fun.
I was hoping that Turbo would get a race on the NASCAR track.
That'd be awesome. That would
Okay,
be
Turbo
awesome.
wins. Or not Turbo, Whitney Whiplash Chevington.
We keep saying Turbo.
Whitney Whiplash Chevington. I keep talking about
The
him.
Snoop Dogg character.
Yeah.
What's that guy's name?
Do not remember. I do not. I cannot guess it.
But I think at the end of the day, Preston Packard wins this. How are you going to use his weapon on a horseback?
Well,
Preston has a hunting rifle, not
Hunting-
a sniper rifle.
that's true. Because people hunt on horseback.
Exactly. Don't snipe off of a horseback.
It's going to be harder to aim.
Can't. Preston wins.
Cars coming. Meow, meow, meow.
That's for Cam.
Yeah, shout out Cam. I mean, I think I got to agree with you. I think Preston Packard's going to move on to our championship
I
round.
did not think he was going to make it this far.
We couldn't remember his name when this tournament was starting. Preston Packard moves on.
Preston Packard. I mean, he did take on King Kong. Lost. Lost, but he still tried.
Lost confidently.
Okay, he like knocked him down though.
Yep.
Which so did Godzilla. So he's kind of on the same level.
Okay, before we get there, we have the biggest matchup yet here.
Okay.
Going into the
I'm
championship.
scared.
We have our third seed, Nick Fury, with a tactical knife and pistol,
Okay.
taking on our second seed, Frozone.
Ooh, this is
Ice.
good.
I think these two would get along actually, and I think they would work together in any
I
other
think
circumstance.
so. Uh huh.
Have you noticed like the Easter egg that in Infinity War, when Nick Fury gets snapped away, the helicopter that's going into the building mirrors when Frozone's in his apartment and that helicopter goes into the building?
Oh, really?
It's blocked the same way as an Easter egg.
That's awesome.
So these two maybe shared a street.
Wow. Look at that.
Thought that was kind of neat. All right, let's see where these two are fighting. They will be fighting in a prison yard.
Okay.
Interesting location. So we'll say the prisoners are in there, the guards too. Wow. The stipulation is long range weapons only.
So just their guns.
It's a shootout in a prison yard.
Wow. And now let's talk about this is that being in a prison, both of them put bad guys in jail.
So many.
They're surrounded by their enemies
And I think they're going to be fighting the bad guys
while fighting each other.
So
Now, in a long range fight, Frozone wins. We have seen him take on guns in the movie. It's nothing. When the cops show up, it's nothing. All I need is a drink of water. You know?
yeah.
And it's nothing. He stops it.
Okay, but they're in a yard, right? They're in a yard, so it's hot out there. Is he close to the water fountain?
I mean, I'm sure. Prisoners got to have water.
But they're not giving him any. I think they may make a blockade.
Would they know?
They're like, oh, snap, it's Frozone. Let's
How
not
does
let
he
him
know?
drink."
Because he's in his super suit when he's Frozone. He comes in as a normal guy. Nick Fury doesn't hide his identity. So he walks in, everyone knows, oh, that's Fury.
I think they'd have to be in their suits, not prison jumpsuits. I think they'd have to be in their outfits fighting.
Okay.
Because they're not in prison. They just happen to, plop down in there and,
And
fight.
correct me if I'm wrong, Frozone's suit is designed to keep him hydrated
I believe so.
so that he can
He is a
ice
superhero.
power.
He is a superhero.
So,
Yeah.
and at the end of the day, Nick Fury's just a guy.
And Frozone probably
just a
has
guy.
more ammo than
Oh,
Nick Fury.
yeah, he has unlimited, and he can go up high. He can, he can't be stopped. He is Frozone.
Okay, well, I agree with you. And with that, we're moving on to our championship round,
Ooh-wee.
where we have our number 9 seed, Preston Packard, Vietnam veteran,
Preston.
fought King Kong.
Vietnam vet, King Kong vet, John Goodman op.
Yeah, taking on our number 2 seed, Frozone, a superhero.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, an unexpected finale. And these two will be fighting in a Western saloon,
Oh, wow.
and it's a dance-off. And the loser is killed by the audience.
Oh, wow.
So these two are bussing it down in a hot saloon.
Okay.
Who wins in a fight?
Okay.
Dance off, not a fight.
Okay.
This doesn't come down to combat.
Okay. So here's my thing.
Oh man.
Here's my thing. From the time era that Preston Packard is in, when he was in his 20s, it would have been like the 40s, the 50s. That man's getting down. Doing the twist.
Let's go off what we've seen in the movies.
Something.
When we first see the helicopters fly onto Skull Island, they're playing music.
Oh yeah,
They're blasting music
they're blasting music.
under Preston's command.
Oh yeah,
He gets jiggy with it.
he does. Now I feel like we've had to seen Frozone dance a little bit in those movies.
I think it's worth fact checking because I'm I'm sure it's happened.
Because
I
he's
think-
just
look up Frozone dancing.
He's so
This is the championship. This is not even about a fight. And keep in mind the mean, angry people in the saloon are gonna kill whoever loses.
so it looks like the only thing that's coming up is the Broadway or the Incredibles on ice dancing, which I don't believe is canon. Disney on Ice, Incredibles.
It is not canon.
But can I say this is that he still has his ice powers, which he has to use to dance. I mean, he like glides on the ice. He does spins and jumps and flips on the ice. He's like a ballerina, so he's got to use it to get down. And I feel like that's way cooler than like Preston doing a waltz by himself. Because he would have danced in like the 50s where dancing was super lame. Even if he knew how, it's like he knew how to back then.
Ain't nothing but a hound dog.
Yeah, and like that's even later, So it's like he's nothing but a hound, It's just not as cool. So again, I feel like in a dance-off, being from modern times, just automatically having the knowledge of the evolution of dance just gives you a home field advantage, even if you're in a Western saloon.
So the music though is
The ragtime. Oh, I didn't think about that. That's a switch up.
yes, it's an old timey piano. So Preston has the advantage when it comes to the beat.
He does. Preston type beat is what we got going. Not a Frozone type beat.
He's like, play me that Wild Wild West.
Will Smith Wild Wild West song. Yeah, man.
That makes it interesting.
That does make it interesting.
Like a what is it? The
rag
time.
time.
Wow.
I think that I don't know, man. I don't know if Frozone would know how to get down like that.
So Frozone may be doing the moonwalk. He's leaning like
Doing
Michael
flips.
Jackson. But then it's like,
You're like, what is that?
yeah. I mean, unless he gets down like Little Richard.
Right. And even then,
But that's more Preston. Even.
that's more Preston.
Good golly, Miss Molly.
Good golly, Miss Molly.
If it's a Western saloon, it'd have to be like 1880s, right?
Yeah, so they don't even know what dancing means. You know what I'm saying?
This is tough. I mean, this is the championship. We really need to think about this. I think we're considering all factors.
And I hate to let Preston win because it makes no sense. But I just feel like, given the circumstances, I mean, come on.
I think
the ragtime music in the Western bar, he's getting like that's the music he probably grew up on.
Yes, and I think you got to consider too. The ice is probably going to take up a lot of room while dancing.
They get cold,
slippery.
People aren't going to like that.
Well, they may if it's hot.
Like, oh, thank you. This is so much better.
Yeah, like, oh, you lost, by the way. But if Preston wins, they're like putting the ice in their drinks.
And I was like, wow, what is ice?
Yeah,
never seen it.
They're like, we have a well.
Fill with bugs and snakes on a plane.
We put our meat in the ground. We could use this.
I don't know, man. I'm thinking
the old timey music.
I'm thinking Preston.
I think it's got to go to Preston too.
I mean, just cause, man.
He couldn't beat King Kong.
He can beat Frozone in a dance-off with Preston Packard.
You lost, boy. And there's like 80 guns in there.
Smoke everywhere.
Oh. And they say, thank you for your service to Preston Packard, a veteran.
For a war that'll come 100 years in the future.
Yeah, thanks eventually.
Thanks, but not even because we lose.
Thanks for trying against King Kong
Thanks
in
for
Vietnam.
trying.
And even though he couldn't get it done in the movies, he gets it done here.
He gets it done here. Wow, the underdog. I mean, seeing this list, you would have thought Mace Windu, Nick Fury,
Frozone.
But Preston Packard, of all people, came out on top through the odds, took out an army of people. Man, look at him go. I feel like now we all need to go back and give Kong a rewatch just for his sake.
And that's a fun movie.
It's so much fun.
By far my favorite movie in the MonsterVerse.
Easily. Man, shout out Packard.
Wow.
That was wonderful.
I think he deserves a rematch with King Kong at this point. Dance off.
Honestly, because now he knows.
King Kong does the monkey. You know the monkey? Mm-mm. It's a dance.
It's like he'd be more of a Macarena guy. just giving me that sort of vibe.
Wow. Well, that was fun, and I think we got to do more of these.
Man, we have to do more of these. I mean, there's so many actors that have so many funny characters that we could play off of. Danny DeVito,
Oh, yes.
Arnold,
Oh, wow, yeah.
You know?
That would be a lot of crazy fights.
Conan versus the Terminator.
And if we did Jason Statham, we'd be like, who's who?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Wow. Okay, well, hey, this was a great episode back.
This is wonderful.
And
Feels great to be back.
It is. It's great to hang out again. Great to be talking about fun things. And hopefully you all enjoyed.
Yep. And, be on the lookout. If you're listening to this, take note, because we're going to be doing a lot of exciting things really soon. And if I were you, I'd want to be early on this.
Yes, fun stuff coming. A whole bunch of different content we've been working on. It's been the summer of productivity and creativity, as I've said. And I am so happy and feeling so good about everything. I appreciate you all listening. This has been Jase O'Brien and
Toby Odom.
thanks for tuning in to the Lost World Podcast.